Hello, everybody. Going to go through example 2 with you really quickly to kind of give you some guidance on this. I'm going to go through both graphing and the algebraic method. And remember, we should get the same answer either way we do this. So the first thing I am going to do is I am going to do graphing. And I'm going to plot the points -2, 3, and 6, -1. Now that's kind of off my grid, but it's going to be right there. So this would be, whoa, that's really not very straight. My line. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I have to find my slope and I have to find my y-intercept. Now I want to remind you that my points I'm using are right here and right here. So when I go to find my slope, I am going to count my rise and my run from this point to this point. And I can go whichever way I want. I can rise down or rise up, but I have to do my rise first. And I'm actually going down here, and then I'm going to the right. So you have to remember that going down is negative, to the right is positive. And I'm actually going down 1, 2, 3, 4, so -4. And I'm going to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's a +8. So my slope is going to be -4 over -8, which actually comes out to be -1/2. So there's my slope. Now my y-intercept, when I look for it, is going to be this point where my graph crosses the y-axis. And although my line was not really very straight, I know if I start here and I use my slope, I can go down 1 and right 2. That puts me right at the y-intercept, which happens to be at 0, 2. So my value of b is 2. So now that I know my b is 2, and I know my my slope is -1/2, my actual equation is going to be y equals -1/2 x plus 2. So if I'm doing this graphically, that is how I'm going to get my answer. Okay, so I look at my graph and I can tell my slope and my y-intercept. And again, that's one great way to do this problem. But we have to have another method because sometimes you can't graph, or sometimes it doesn't cross at a nice place. So we have to have another way to do that. So we're going to start with our algebra. We still know we need to get the slope and we need to get the y-intercept. So our slope, if you remember, is going to be y2 minus y1. I really need to make that smaller if I'm going to zoom in. Is going to be, let me change this. My slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if I come back over here to my points, I'm going to call this xy, and this will be point 1, and this is xy, and this is point 2. So I'm going to have -1 minus 3 over 6 minus -2. And if I simplify that, I would get -4 over 8, which reduces to -1/2. So my slope is -1/2. And then if you remember, what I do is I take my slope along with one of the points I started with. And you could use either one of these 2 points over here. Just because it's over here to the right, I'm going to use 6, -1. So there's my point, and my slope is -1/2. So what I'm going to do then is fill those numbers into my y equals mx plus b. Because remember, that's my equation. This is x, this is y, this is m, and we're going to find b. So I'm going to have -1 equals -1/2 times 6 plus b. And if I go to solve this, -1/2 times 6 is -3 plus b is -1. If I keep solving, that tells me that b is 2. So I have my b and I have my m. I can now go back and write my equation, which is going to be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. And that's my algebraic equation. And notice it matches my graphic equation. So I have to be able to do both methods. If you have any questions, ask for some help. Thanks. Bye-bye.